Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Shavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Many sages have had hard lives to begin with. How can we understand that in terms of karma? Sages also have karma. That's all. Yeah, so everybody has karma. If one has birth, there is karma. And that karma is resolved completely through self-knowledge. We have seen how. Right at the beginning of the camp, we saw how that is done. Can please close that door also? We have seen how that is done. How all the karmas resolve because the doer, karta, is falsified. So when there is no karta, then no place for the karma to go. Everybody has karma. Everybody has some difficulties or the other. And it is true. Sometimes saints, sages, etc. appear to have a difficult life. If we take the case of our own Pujya Swamiji, so much hardship at a young age. The loss of the father, assuming the responsibilities, going against all of them in the face of all logic, in the face of all societal and cultural expectations, to follow his heart and to follow his destiny to be a world teacher and world leader. How many odds he had to overcome. So, life is not a picnic. Life will be hard. What makes a sage is how they handle the difficulties that karma gives them, that life gives them. In that, there is a lot of grace, how they handle it. We see this in all the stories. Mirabai's relatives tried to kill her 2-3 times and sent a flower garland in a basket because they were not happy with her devotion. She was a queen and she had there were all these expectations of what she should do. And she was not interested in any of the expectations. She spent the whole time in the puja room with her Krishna. And nobody liked that. The brother-in-law said, we'll just make it look like an accident. Just off her. So in the pretense of sending a garland, he actually sent a snake. The idea was that she will open the basket and then try to touch this garland and then it would bite and she would be dead. Poisonous snake, probably a cobra or something. But her trust was so much that it really became a garland. It turned into a garland. That's what the story is. In any case, it did not harm her. So like this, many plots like this were done. And then there is a saint from Kashmir, her name is Lalla, and Lalla was married at a young age and had a very mean in-laws, very mean in-laws. So the mother-in-law would pretend to be serving her lot of food. What would she do? She would keep a stone in the plate and put a thin layer of rice enough to cover the stone. So from a distance it would look like, look, I'm serving my daughter-in-law so much rice. And really there were just a few morsels of rice. And when Lalla would go to wash her plate, she would also wash the stone and keep it in an accessible place, so the mother-in-law would find it the next day. This is not martyrdom. Nobody becomes a saint after being a martyr. Saintliness is the ability to face difficulties without blaming oneself or others, targeting others. That's the first step. So what we make of our lives is just is there. The ingredients are already there. It depends. So prarabdha can give difficulties. Purushartha can take away those difficulties. And we have heard the expression, when you have lemons, what to do? Make lemonade, yes. So here, this is exactly what the saints did. It's not that they had more karma, less karma, more difficulties, less difficulties. Whatever difficulties they had, they overcame them ingeniously, creatively, not in the regular way of complaining, fearful, upset, blaming, critiquing oneself and others, feeling hopeless, depressed. All these will come. After all, it's just the mind. Hopelessness may come, feeling dejected, and all these things may come. But they have to be seen as temporary things. We take care of them. There are upayas for everything. You take care of them, and the vidya helps, because Atma Vidya, what does it say? You are not the emotions. You are not the mind. That is very, very important to understand. Then there is one more question. Sometimes we have insights of being visited by Guru in the dream. Is that also considered as the dream substance, memory and desires? Technically, yet, yes. Because in a way, maybe there was something you need to do. You know what you need to do. But maybe one is not listening to one's own wisdom. So one conjures up the Guru in the dream and makes that one's own wisdom come through the mouth of the Guru, and then what happens? Then it becomes much more palatable. Then you can say, Guru made me do it, that in the dream. That's why I'm doing it. So, very ingenious the human mind is. So that is definitely a possibility. You know what you need to do. It's a difficult decision, but you know what is correct. But you cannot bring yourself to do it for whatever reason. There is a block, there is a resistance, there is a fear of what people may think. There is some issue there. If the Guru says it, it will become all right. So one subconsciously would like the Guru to say it, and so one conjures the dream. There is a suggestion in the mind to bring in the Guru and make the Guru say it. And then it becomes like, yes, the resistance goes, which is very nice. There are also dreams which are called lucid dreams, few and far between, that happen between the waking and the sleep states. Carl Jung talks about this, where one is neither awake nor asleep. Even the Shastra talks about it. It is called Ubhayataf Prajna. One is in kind of two realms at the same time, and one is able to portend something. One is able to see what's happening. One is able to dream that up, in a sense. That dream, such dreams are rare, very rare, and that dream may not be having to do with memory and desires, may be actually something, it's like a visitation of what is going to happen, some kind of a grace that is there. So such dreams, very, very rare. Most of the dreams, memory and desire mixed up. You said moksha comes in with or through a thought, but you said Bhagavan is not a thought. Yes. So moksha means the knowledge that, excuse me, the knowledge that one is never bound is communicated through a thought. And what kind of a thought is it? It's a thought that dispels ignorance. Ignorance dispelling thought. And that thought is called akhandakara vritti, the vritti of oneness. And that is communicated, the nature of oneself is communicated in the form of this thought by removing ignorance. But the thought is just the carrier. The thought is just the carrier. The thought does not enclose Bhagavan. See, Bhagavan cannot be thought of as something different from you. When you think of Bhagavan, like I am thinking of this microphone, so if I have a thought about the microphone, there is a subject of object difference. Akhandakara vritti is not like that. That's why it's called the vritti of oneness. There is no subject object there. It is that oneness which shatters the myth of subject object division, does its work and goes away. And so here, when you think of God or you want to talk about God or keep remembering God, then it becomes an exercise in duality. This is the vritti of oneness. So the vritti is itself kshanika. So then the question arises, how can a finite vritti carry the infinite? It doesn't carry the infinite. The infinite is already carried by you. It is already free. It is already you. So what does the vritti carry? The vritti carries whatever is needed for the indicators of that oneness. Whatever is needed to see. And the I being self-evident, the vritti doesn't need to carry much. It can just be what it is, and then it tells, what does it tell? You are the whole. You are not this body, mind, sense complex. That's what it will tell. And then in its telling, since the I is self-evident, the truth of the I is understood. So the vritti does not carry Bhagavan. Vritti does not carry Satchidananda. In fact, even Satchidananda is just an indication, indicatory words. They are pointing to what is already self-evident. That's why the infinite can be, as it were, communicated through the finite vritti, because it's just pointing. It's not really carrying that thing and delivering it. Good question. I hope it is clear. In chapter 14, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan talks about going beyond and not being disturbed by the gunas. I do not understand how to accept knowledge if the mind is rajasic or tamasic. I only feel truth when the mind is sattvic. Yes, please advise. You have already said it. So, the mind is made sattvic, starting with what kind of things we indulge in terms of what do we feed the mind. The mind behaves and grows in accordance to what it is fed. If you feed the mind wonderful fodder of nice thoughts, nice exposure to sattvic things, then it will grow, it will evolve, it will have emotional maturity. If one exposes the mind to all kinds of tamasic, rajasic influences, then that is where the mind will go. It will be bogged down. This is how it is. So therefore, the tamas and rajasic things, whether in thoughts, whether in actions, whether in food, whether in the kind of entertainment one consumes, all that is moderated. And so one becomes a person of moderation. And then the mind has a chance to be less and less rajasic, less and less tamasic, and the knowledge easily comes. No problem at all. I am a potato. I am not saying that. Okay. It is written here with a little picture of a potato also. I suppose that's a self-portrait. Very nice. I am a potato. You are knocking in the edge of the field to remove the dirt of ajnana. And I'm feeling unsettled. Because one gets used to the dirt, naturally, yeah. So, do you have any advice on how to handle and integrate? Be with the other potatoes. Also who have got a beating and whose dirts have been loosened. That is called satsang. That is called studying together. That is exactly what it is. One grows in groups. Self-study and isolated study is not really advised. It's nice to study together. Then it becomes like a family. It's very nice. Better than a family, because in the family you will be the only one who is interested. Other people say, "What's wrong with you? Why are you sitting in front of Zoom all the time? Why do you keep running to AVG? What is there?" The other people have their own things to do, places to go, people to see. So it's better than family, because here it's a motley crew of all the people who know how you feel. They know how you feel about the family, they know how you feel. They know what has brought you here, because it's the same situation or a similar situation that has brought them also here. So there is a lot of things in common. And the unsettling is actually good. In Vedanta, unsettling is very good. Unsettled is settled. Settled in Vedanta, unsettled in the world. This is what we want. Unsettled means questioning. That's good. because you don't take everything for granted. You don't keep thinking this is how it should be. Otherwise, if one feels settled all the time, what happens is that the growth is there, but then one reaches a plateau, kind of a complacency. One hits a kind of a complacency beyond which one has difficulty growing. But you know there is something there, but one is in the safety of this complacency. So the potatoes that have taken a beating hang together. Yes. And it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice because it's a vulnerable time. The gain of knowledge happens instantaneously, especially when there are no blocks and there is no trust. But that itself can cause fear because, oh my God, what now? What's going to happen to my job? What's going to happen to my life? Oh, and then there is the family too. Okay, so all this, there is a certain fear. There is something, it's all something new. There is the question, how do I, quote unquote, go back? There is no going back. There is no going back. You don't go back. You keep moving forward in everything. The new you is no different from the old you, except that it is lighter and brighter. That's all. And a lighter you and a brighter you can actually do more things more efficiently in a lesser amount of time. This is the benefit of self-knowledge. This is the benefit of retreats. This is the benefit of all the camps and everything. When you attend, you are in a different realm. And then after that you are worried, oh my God, what will happen? How will I go back and integrate? What will happen? But the strength that is taken from other potatoes helps a long way. In fact, you only get 1/4 of the knowledge from the teacher, the Shastra says. 1/4 of the knowledge you get from the teacher, 1/4 comes in time, you cannot rush it. 1/4 you get on your own, in the sense that when you contemplate upon the teachings, certain things strike. Oh, I hadn't looked at it this way before. So there is a kind of an excitement and insight. And then 1/4 you get from Sahapathis, other people who are studying with you. Something they say, some question they ask. Who would knew that the potato questions would be so popular? Everybody feels the same way. And so you learn a lot from people, and you can help each other grow. Help each other grow within families and help each other grow in the Gurukulam. So even though we say, give up the old things which do not help you, but at the same time you have a ready-made group of new friends. You have new contacts, new ways of being, which is very, very nice. So we hang on to that. Yes? I'm finished with that. There are 2 more. You want to wait? Okay. Shiva drank poison. When he drank poison, why he was in pain? He is Bhagavan, but he was in immense pain. That pain didn't belong to him. That pain is the collective unconscious of everybody. And so he was demonstrating the extent of that, to show that. Hala hala is the collective unconscious. You see the whole Amrita Manthanam, That story of the churning of the ocean. The ocean is the unconscious mind, where warring forces, the dharmic and the adharmic, as in devas and asuras, team up to delve into the depth of the unconscious mind and see what gems might come out. And so, it's a very big ocean. What is the churning rod? You can't buy one from the market. So they broke off a mountain and then made it into a churning stick. That also started to sink. And then therefore we had the Kurma Avatara. The tortoise in the form of Vishnu held up the churning stick after going under the ocean. And then one side devas representing dharma, other side asuras. Oh, but then you need a churning rope, aropa, snake. Vasuki, a snake. That itself was a very toxic snake. And so the devas tricked the asuras to holding the head of the snake. And so they went and held the tail of the snake. They tricked them how? By pandering to their ego. Who is brave enough to hold the mouth of the snake? And all of them, stupid people, they went, me. And as a result, these people held the tail. The tail also, because imagine, it was wrapped 2.5 times around this mountain. It was writhing in pain, being used as a churning rope. It was flailing the tail like that, slapping the devas back and forth. Whereas the asuras here were in great dire distress. Out of pain, it would open its mouth, and a few of them would faint, and they had to be revived with a hanky. They had to continue churning. Before plumbing into the depths of the unconscious mind and seeing the true, integrating it, and seeing the truth of oneself as Bhagavan, one has to go through the pain of that unconscious. So the gems will come only after dealing with the pains. And that pain came out in the form of this toxic hala. All the asuras fainted each time Vasuki hissed and opened his mouth. But when hala came out, Vasuki himself fainted and had to be revived. How powerful and toxic that poison must have been, you can't even imagine. Poor thing fainted on the spot. And so nobody was able to, it was all toxic, everybody was dying just at the thought of it. And Shiva alone, Shiva means auspicious, Bhagavan, Ishvara. The one who is in charge of the unconscious mind is Bhagavan. So Bhagavan alone can neutralize this, the pain of the unconscious mind. And so he offers to rid the earth of so much of this pain by taking it in. And he was demonstrating how difficult it is. He was not affected, but he was demonstrating how toxic it was. And once that was neutralized, then some useless things came out based on certain desires. Then finally, the healing. Dhanvantari with, healing. The only healing, the total healing is the knowledge of Brahma Vidya, the knowledge that you are not subject to death. It's a beautiful allegory, very nice allegory. Same thing we see with Lord Dakshinamurti also. The unconscious mind is in the form of apasmara, lying at the foot of the Lord. That has to be surrendered to the Lord, it has to be integrated. One has to reparent the inner child and then come out of this. That is the allegory of the whole poison thing. How is it possible to be desireless when every devotee always prays to God for something? Who can be, the idea is, who can be like Hanuman and Nandi, who were completely devoted to Bhagavan, expecting nothing but just being in their love? You can be like that. Yes. Why not? You can definitely be like that. It's a matter of growth. It takes time, because as soon as you stand in front of any form of Bhagavan, all the desires come tumbling out. That is natural. And there is no rush. One can continue to be an Artha Bhakta. Artha means somebody who is in distress, who needs Bhagavan. Nothing wrong in that. It's a stage. And sometimes you have to go through that stage. For some time you have to be in that stage. Nothing wrong. Absolutely nothing wrong. And also, we are not saying that one should be desireless. The desire that doesn't cross dharma are to be followed, because desire is a manifestation of Bhagavan. Kamosmi bharatarshapha dharma aviruddha bhuteshu. In all beings, I am in the form of desire that doesn't cross dharma. That is not incorrect. That is not inappropriate. Some things may not be wrong, but it is inappropriate. Desha, kala, all this matters. You can't just, you can't, there are rules everywhere. So we follow the rules, because that is the way to do it. That is Vishesha Dharma. Wherever you go, there are rules. And you follow those rules, because even though not following them, it's inappropriate. Yes, it may not be right or wrong, but it is inappropriate. It causes people disturbance. So that is Vishesha Dharma. And then what else? Swadharma. I do what I am supposed to do. I do not do what I am not supposed to do. In this way, I grow. And so, following dharma, if you have desires that are in keeping with the dharma, then it is okay. We don't say you should be totally desireless. If you are totally desireless, if you strive for desirelessness, what will happen? You will have one desire that you can't get rid of. What is that? I should not have any desires. I should not have any desires. That becomes what? Is that a desire or not? Yes. So therefore, it's not trying to be desireless. You go through a stage, be in the stage as long as one needs to. No rush. We have many lives. No rush at all. Yeah. One life, 911 bhakta. Nothing wrong. At least one is a bhakta. Next life, partnership bhakti. I'll give you a sari, O goddess. Get my son married. This is another life. No problem. We are not in a rush. As long as one is on the path, it's good. Remember the story of the rabbit and the turtles. Turtle? Tortoise. Same thing, same concept, yeah. And who won the race? Ah, slow and steady. That is what we want. We don't want miracles. We don't want anybody to suddenly become an Ashtavakra, and we don't want people to have some, like Chandrayaan, rocket yourself to moksha. No need. Yeah, stay, enjoy, take it easy, but be committed in the pursuit. Have a committed pursuit. As long as one is on the path, you will find that you don't have to give up the desires. They get tired of you and go and latch on to somebody else. Yeah. Some other unharvested potato. They will they will find. They will not bother with you. They will say, this fellow is useless. Forget you dropping them. They will drop you like a hot potato. They will drop you totally. Desires drop. And then one just gains vairagya naturally. If one is committed to the teaching, committed to this life of karma yoga, committed to... The main thing is repeated and consistent and committed shravanam. That's all it is. The desires naturally drop. And one gains vairagya. And Pujya Swamiji used to give this example. Like a bald man going through the shampoo and hair care aisle of the supermarket. Yeah. Doesn't look here, doesn't look there. Is there what is conditioner? Doesn't know. What is gel? Doesn't know. Just not interested in anything, goes straight without looking this side or that side. One becomes like that. Naturally it happens. And it's a moment of great joy, because each time that happens, then you feel like, oh, I thought I couldn't live without this, but guess what? I am living without this. And I thought I couldn't live without that, but I'm living without this and that. And I'm living without so many things. I'm becoming less and less dependent on things. People, situations, events, circumstances. More and more Ishvara dependent. It's a growth. That's good. Less and less world dependent, more and more Ishvara dependent, and finally self-dependent. Ishvara being the self, recognizing Ishvara as the self. You have to go through the stages. Even when the rocket goes, different things drop off at different times. If everything drops off, it will crash. That's how it is.
I have two things. One thing is I want to appreciate Artha for playing the drums so well during the kirtan. So I think and then I have a question about having wishes.
Having?
Wishes.
Wishes.
Is this something
Can you use the microphone just for the live streaming?
Yes, please. Thank you. Wishes. Wishes? You
Yeah.
have wishes?
No, I'm asking about what is the matter with having wishes? I mean, do I have to be careful in what I'm wishing? It might become true. So this is my question. How behave with having wishes?
What kind of desires to have? Yeah. Desires that don't go against dharma. That's the first general rubric. So wishes means desires, right? No?
Yeah, in a way, but wish is something for how my life should be.
Yes, that's a desire.
Oh.
That's a desire. Same thing. Yeah. That's a desire. So, desires that don't go against dharma. And sometimes it is true, we don't know what we want. And we think we want something. So pray for guidance. Pray for guidance. And there are many different ways of doing it. And sometimes one is confused because this is sometimes there are too many options and one doesn't know how to choose. And some people, what they do, it works for them. It may not work for everybody, but for whom it works, it works. They put small pieces of paper with the options, fold it identically, and put it in front of the altar, and then pick one. Mix it up, pick one. And some people even decide marriage like that. So, that means I am trusting Bhagavan. And so that is, it may or may not work. Some people do that. Pray for clarity. And then after every wish, after every desire, say Swaha, meaning this desire I have let go and kept at your feet. I do not own it anymore. Meaning, I'm not trying to make this desire come true. My intention was there, my heart is here in this desire, and I'm putting it at your feet. Say Swaha. This is what we do after many, in the fire ritual. Agnaye Swaha. Then Agnaye Idan Namama. This is not my desire anymore. I have given it to you. Give it to Bhagavan. Have Bhagavan hold it, and then you can be free of it. And pray for clarity.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Anything else? Any other questions? Yes.
Can you raise your hand? I have a question.
Swamiji, in Artha Bhakta, the Artha, and Ardha Purusha, the Artha, the one who's desperate, and Purushartha.
Purushartha, and that is Tha. This is Ta, Artha. And that is Artha. This is Artha. You have a long A and Alpa Prana Ta. And there you have a short A and Mahaprana Tha. Artha means that which you want. Sarvaihi Purushaihi Arthyate iti Purushartha. That which is desired by all beings. Anywhere in the world you go, even if you go to some other loka and there are human-like beings, they will all want security, for example. So, that is what is called Artha. This here, it is Artha, the one in distress, pain. Anything else? This will be our last satsang, because tomorrow something is happening. What is happening? Culture program. And then after that, as a class, we are going to somebody's house on the 28th. Yes.
Swamiji, you mentioned that there was a cure for insomnia
related to Hanuman?
Yeah. You can write it down. I'll just tell it. It's not exactly for insomnia. It is for difficult memories or dreams. Disturbance due to difficult memories and dreams. Ramaskandam. Ramaskandam. Hanumantam. Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Find a pen over there. Take the pen and write. Okay, then write. Ramaskandam. Hanumantam. Right, right. Ramaskandam. Hanumantam. Vainateyam. Vrikodaram. Vrikodaram. Ramaskandam. Hanumantam. Vainateyam. Vrikodaram. Shayane. Yaha. Shayane yaha. Smaret. Nityam. Shayane yasmaren nityam. Shayane yaha smaret nityam. And with sandhi it becomes Shayane yasmaren nityam. Duswapnam tasya nashyati hi. Duswapnam tasya nashyati hi. So the one who is carrying Rama on the shoulder, Hanuman, that Hanuman, and then the one who is devoted, humble, the one who is very fit and in shape, who has a stomach of a greyhound, svelte, vrikodaram, svelte, like a wolf's stomach. And then Shayane, at the time of sleeping, Yaha, the one who, Smaret, remembers this kind of a Hanumanji, then Nityam, all the time. Duswapnam, difficult dreams. Tasya, for such a person, indeed, he, Nashyati, is destroyed. Devoted. Vrikodaram Vainateyam.
Is Vainateyam Vinita's son Vainateya Garud?
I thought he was Anjana's son. Right?
Anjana is
Yeah.
Anjana's son Hanuman, right?
Yes.
But Vainita's son Vainateya.
Vainateya, you can take
Vrikodaram.
like that, yes.
And Ram's Skandam is a shoulder, or Skandam is a not Skandapuram, the Ganesha's brother, the Kartikeya.
Both.
No. Oh,
both.
Oh,
Both. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
This helps. Somehow take away the, even if one is not having difficult dreams, one can just chant that, listen to that, and It helps to somehow be at peace, remove difficulties. Yeah. Okay? Anything else?
Yes.
Yes.
Here. Oh.
Okay. Ramaskandam Hanumantam Vainateyam Vrikodaram Shayane Yasmaren Nityam Dusvapnam Tasya Nashyatihi.
So I'm going to remind everyone that Svatmavidyananda, she's going to have her production at the auditorium stage because it has a slideshow involved, and so that's the big plan that she wants
Tomorrow
to.
we have to go there.
That's what she's saying. Yes.
Okay.
And she was going to arrange or confirm it somehow, but I think that's her plan. And she's meeting me there, and she's intending to have it there. And the other thing is, she said it will only be 15 or 20 minutes. So if you want to have that first and then satsang, there's time for that, I think.
Yeah, but there is also one more slideshow that Chinnamma wants to do. That will be how long? Another 15-20 minutes. So it will be all right. It will work out.
Another slideshow?
Yeah, there's another slideshow.
Well, perfect for that place then. Okay. It'll be on the big screen. That's all I have to say. Om.
Wonderful. Om swasti prajabhyah paripalayantam nyayena margena mahim mahishaha go brahmanebhyah shubhamastu nityam loka samasta sukhino bhavantu kale varshatu parjanyah prithvi sasya shalini yam kshobarahitah brahmana santu nirbhayaah sarve bhavantu sukhinah sarve santu niramayaah sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityor ma amritangamaya. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.